Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Counter podcast presented by Insane Games. We just got Mike and I here at the Northway Plaza Insane Games, Queensbury, New York. And down south, we got Tyler broadcasting from the Countryside Mall, Clearwater, Florida. It might be, it's sleet and freezing rain up here and, 80 down there and sun?
It's actually raining today.
Whoa.
So it's only like about 70.
I thought it was a hurricane outside when I was walking into this mall today.
Hurricane.
Pretty crazy.
There are actually like tornadoes in the Carolinas. So yeah, you're not too far off.
From Canada all the way down to Mexico, there's like a huge storm from one side to another.
Yeah.
We got episode 12, Behind the Counter. I think we're ready to do this, right?
Let's do it.
Voter, run it. And back, episode 12, Behind the Counter, presented by Insane Games. While you're watching us here today, make sure you subscribe to watch our full episodes on YouTube at Behind the Counter. You can also like us and follow us on Facebook at Insane Games NY and Insane Games FL. Make sure you can watch our live episodes and any of our videos throughout the week on Twitch at Insane Video Games. Follow us on Twitter at pod_BTC. Check out our cool photos on Instagram at Behind the Counter Pod. And make sure you check our affiliations with Geek For All with Joe and Amy, who helped us this weekend at the Comic Con at Geek For All and Geek For All YT and Geek For All Geek For All on YouTube.
He was doing really, really well.
I was doing pretty good.
Let's give him a hand.
What's problem now is that he's like so
psyched.
Because we always make fun of him, and he's like, oh, I got this. Just got to get through Geek For All YT, and he just always.
The problem here's what will happen to me. I know the channel 13 is WNYT, so when I see YT, I want to say WNYT for some reason, and I don't know why, and I get confused for some strange reason. And also make sure you follow us on Twitch, Insane Video Games, because if you do, May 1st, we're giving away a system of a choice to the winner, a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox One, or a PlayStation 4, but you can't get it unless you follow us on Twitch. So again, that's Insane Video Games. So make sure you follow us there. Then you can watch all of our videos when they go live. You can watch the Weekend Wednesday with our Dave Man at DAM314. And then also Mike and I are at Insane Games late night on Thursday nights as well. This week we're kind of all over the place because we're kind of resting from the Comic Con. So we had a lot of, Mike was filling in for Dave on Wednesday. The late night was off on Thursday. And this podcast was off the last 2 weeks because of Easter and the
Saratoga Comic Con.
Comic Con. So we're back live here this week. Speaking of the Comic Con, we were all there last weekend. How was it?
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Mike, your first Comic Con?
Yeah, it was my first one. All the costumes were great. I got to see Jason Mewes. I was excited to see him. I got to go get my arm around him, get the picture taken. Got a DVD signed. Forgot to bring it today. I'll bring it next time, though. But, yeah, it went well. Everyone was super cool there. I like the Vader guy, his costume. I'll shout out. I think we have pictures on the Facebook, right?
I think so. We got to post some. And then Dave has a lot, too, that we got to post from Dave. So Dave was running around like a maniac, interviewing random people and different booths and different vendors and exhibitors, and I think he had a good interview with Sam Chase during the event. And so how do you think the Comic-Con was?
Out of the Comic-Cons I've been to, that was probably the most successful one I've been to. It was very fast-paced. It was a lot of fun. You know, people were very nice. You know, usually when you go to Comic-Cons, you get some of those rude people, but I feel like everybody at the Comic-Con was very nice and wanted to know about the store and what we do, and nobody was heckling me all the time. But I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of great cosplayers. There was the one guy that dressed up as Shaggy and Beavis and Butthead and Han Solo. And
didn't he threaten to kick your ass, that one guy?
Yeah, he did.
Don't make me kick your ass.
Yep. He said that, and then he was in that photo with Mike when Darth Vader was choking him in his face as Han Solo. Was absolutely hilarious.
He just wasn't helping me at all.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved it. You know, we did very well there. Sold a lot of video games. Got the good word out about Insane Games. So
actually, we've had a lot of people come up, visit the store.
All in all, I feel like it was probably the most successful one we've been to.
We've had a lot of customers come up from the actual Comic Con that have come up to see the actual store, and it's funny how many people you run into. And they go, "Oh, we never seen you were there. We didn't know that you were there." And I was like, "Yeah, we don't open back up in August." And we had a lot of people for this week. It's just been so many people, and the amount of stuff we sold this past weekend. I mean, we went in. We must have sold probably 250 pops. It's crazy. We went in. We had this huge
ton of NES games.
Ton of NES games, pop figures, lanyards. We had so much stuff that went. Hats. We got the Black Panther hat in. That was in and out.
We didn't sell the Aquaman hat.
We only sold. Well, we sold one. We didn't sell the other one. And just no Superman. What's Batman? We ordered 9 Batman hats, all gone. Not a single Superman one. Oof. Talk about. I don't know if that means. Upstate New York is maybe a Batman area and not a Superman.
So what about Flash?
Flash sold. We sold a lot of Flash. Wonder Woman sold.
We didn't sell those flip-flops, though.
Well, why would you buy them with this weather?
That's because the warm weather's not probably coming until July up there.
They're still cool. They still look cool.
Right. Yeah, so we sold a lot of stuff at the Comic-Con this past weekend. And then Mike and I had a great photo with all the Star Wars people at our booth. Yeah. And then Dave and I did one with all the X-Men characters. And I'll tell you now, that guy looked just like Han Solo. I don't know if it was the hair, his baldness, whatever it was, but he looked just like Han Solo.
Got a full head of hair, Dan.
What's that?
Han Solo's got so much hair, but that guy, not so much.
Yeah, but he kind of had the look.
It was shaggy a little bit, but
it's gonna be Dan in about 15 years. That's what Dan's hairstyle is gonna be.
But the bald joke just don't stop with you, do they?
They do not.
I don't know why you can't come up with some new material.
We'll have to recheck with Tyler in a couple of years to see if he's
Space
bald.
Mountain? Where'd you get that shirt?
Probably at Space Mountain, Dan.
Probably at Space Mountain.
Or is that Disney World?
Yeah.
I would say something else, but I want to keep this podcast at least PG-13.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Space Mountain is the wettest ride at Disney. At Disney, don't at me.
Are you sure you were tall enough to ride it?
Actually, I was just a little bit.
I had to put rocks in the shoes.
I heard that if you ride it with the lights on, you see just how close like all the pillars and stuff are, like going over your head, and it's really scary. But that's just a fun fact about Space Mountain.
Oh man, no, the podcast is pretty fun. Or I'm sorry, the Comic Con is pretty fun.
I'm having fun too.
I think we'll have maybe next week we'll have Sam Chase. He said he wants to come back on and kind of go over the podcast or the event and kind of talk about
podcast equals convention, just
right.
in case anybody's confused.
To kind of go over all the different stuff that went on there and thank everybody that helped him. And so we'll probably have him on next week. We'd like to have Joe and Amy back on, who helped us on last weekend too. Had them on. It would have been cool to do maybe a separate post Wrestlemania show because that all happened last week. That was what, WrestleMania?
You didn't watch it, Mike?
Why would I watch that nonsense?
Oh my God.
Why would you not want to watch that?
I watched UFC
nonsense?
on Saturday instead.
Even if you're not a fan of WWE, just any average Joe watches WrestleMania. It's the Super Bowl.
I'm an average Joe and I didn't watch it.
Never mind.
What?
Nothing. I don't want to be mean.
You better take it easy.
I don't see why you wouldn't watch WrestleMania though.
It's bald.
Your man Braun Strowman was in it.
Wasn't he? How did he do?
He won with a 10-year-old.
So what?
He pulled a random 10-year-old out of the audience.
Sense.
Not that bad.
Kind of questionable.
he gave Cesaro and Sheamus these hands with a 10-year-old, and the 10-year-old took a tag. So now in the record book, there's going to be a 10-year-old and Braun Strowman as the tag team champions.
Nicholas was his
as
name.
Tag team champions.
So is he going to come back to defend that title, or?
No, I think they already gave it up.
They gave it up the next day.
He had a conflict. The 4th grade.
A scheduling conflict. He had to attend lunch and recess and math class.
So here's the thing: is that like I don't care about WrestleMania. I don't watch it. I'm an average Joe. I don't watch WrestleMania. But I heard no end of it because of that. As a publicity thing, that worked really well because everybody was talking about it. It's like, hey, that's neat. I don't care about WrestleMania, but that's neat. That's a neat thing that they did.
Because technically, he's a guy that doesn't need a partner. That was the whole idea.
Yeah.
That he's so big, this Braun Strowman guy, he really doesn't need a partner. So that's why, like, oh, I'll win with a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And, well, he did.
Did the 10-year-old receive any of a SmackDown, or?
Well, no, he's on Raw.
What, the 10-year-old?
No, the 10-year-old went on Raw the next night and gave up the title with Braun Strowman.
You say he should have had to at least take a chair or something in his pad to the belt.
Taking a chair to the head.
Oh my God! It's a pool noodle. Come on.
The Carnage King! Oh my God! I was
I
watching.
thought, though, that the setup of all of WrestleMania was really good, though. I thought they did an amazing job with the whole entire entrance and the themes. Like, even with Shinsuke Nakamura coming down with the lady that was playing the guitar and violins, in a row. It was really cool. I mean, a lot of the matches were decent, but, I thought they'd keep doing a great job at the entrances and the views of WrestleMania and make it really cool.
No, I thought overall the show was relatively. It didn't have any surprises, but I don't think it needed it.
What happened with Rhonda? Was she there? Did she do anything?
Why don't you watch it? You seem to have a lot of questions, Mike.
Just making talk, boy. Well, tell me. Was she there? Or?
She was there. She won the match.
Okay, Dan, you got it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Either one, yeah. Let's go.
So Ronda and Kurt Angle faced Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and Ronda ended up giving Stephanie these hands, almost broke her her shoulder. So she came out on Raw the next night with her arm in a sling. It's pretty funny. Ronda actually did really well for her first wrestling match. She didn't injure anybody. She didn't actually go into human fight mode and break anybody's arms out of their clavicle, which is nice.
Did she look the part?
She was wearing kind of like a kit that she would wear in UFC. So she looked like she was gonna roundhouse kick someone or bring them down and break their arm. But she did good. Kurt Angle is kind of like he kind of looks like he got fat a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like he did get fat recently.
Fat's where it's at.
I don't really like the whole. I think they got to change. I don't like how she smiles when she comes out. It takes away from the whole Ronda Rousey image.
Yeah, but then she goes like stone cold, like in a second.
I get that, but would you not think she's more intimidating when she walks down? Her face is like it wasn't.
To that. She's very fresh, and everybody loves seeing her, and she loves seeing everybody. And then once she gets into the zone, and she's been there a while, she'll start going full beast mode and having the nasty look on her face and breaking people's arms literally, and it'll get there. Right now, she's in like the honeymoon stage.
Are you watching Twitch?
I am.
You got all the people talking in there?
I am.
Well, if anyone calls it out,
it's booming in this Twitch.
Make sure you call them out in here if they say anything.
Well, someone's Natural Born Gamers is saying, hey, if you guys order pizza and I pick it up, can I be on the show? And I said yes.
Not in here.
So if you guys if we order a pizza and
From
pick
where?
it up,
More anywhere else.
Oh, okay.
This is what are we, Dave, and we get Domino's or whatever
Nothing
he got.
wrong with Domino's.
Pizza Hut.
don't be hating on Domino's.
I don't know.
Pizza's pizza, Dan.
Pizza Hut. The amount
all
of
good.
grease that comes off the Pizza Hut pizzas, it's like.
Don't be hating on Pizza Hut either. They got the stuffed crust.
There's nothing wrong with a little grease.
No.
All pizza has a little grease on it. Even Grimaldi's has that, and they're all natural.
Yikes.
I don't even know what Grimaldi's is.
It's
Grimaldi's.
New York pizza, but it's not in New York. It's weird.
Yikes.
I don't think they have a single Grimaldi's in New York.
They don't. They should. That is excellent pizza, Grimaldi's. excellent pizza.
Is that true?
It's pretty dripping wet.
So, like,
But Dan gets it like completely fried, burnt, and it tastes like butt. Like it literally tastes like you take charcoal, and just like rub it on the pizza, and then you eat it, and that's what it tastes like.
here we go.
It is how Dan eats his pizza. I remember that
That's
from.
how he eats his bagels. That's how he eats his pretzels. That's how he eats his pizza.
He's a dry guy. Dry guy.
I like things. I like my steak well done. I like everything.
All right, I'm out of here. I'm turning off the cameras.
I like everything
If you're
cooked.
gonna order a steak well done, you might as well just eat chicken.
I know how many times I've heard that out of your mouth. You might as well just eat chicken. You might as well just eat chicken.
You might as well. You're just ruining the steak. They killed a cow for that, and all you're doing is burning it to a crisp and eating it. And you might as well just take a big thing of charcoal, pull it down your mouth. There's your steak, Dan.
I like well done steak. I like things cooked.
It's cooked? Well, okay. I'm not even gonna get into this.
This is going nowhere. Next.
So, Mike, when you were a kid, and you went into, what was your store of choice when you were a kid?
For
Anything. When you went with your parents. I'll be honest. Mine, KB Toys.
I almost forgot about that store. I always go in there when I was in the mall.
But what, have you ever gone to a KB Toys?
KB Toys
I missed that store.
When I was in the mall and I was 10 with my parents, KB Toys. Toys R Us maybe, but KB
say
Toys.
Toys
When,
R
when
Us more for
KB
me.
Toys went out of business, that was for me when malls began to die. Because then
I remember when
there
that
were
went
KB
out.
Toys in
I remember
every
the kid was. I remember the week that they went out of business. The kid in the Wilton Mall was running up and down the hallway with a bouncy bounce and a scooter, and it was the week they were closing because obviously they didn't care. But Tyler, what was your store of choice?
Well, KB Toys was pretty lit back in the day. Besides, I didn't really go into Toys R Us. I don't know why. I never went into Toys R Us. I usually went into KB Toys. I also really liked EB Games.
So EB
Yeah, I spent a
Games
lot
was
of time in
sweet.
EB Games.
Okay, so EB Games. We'll use that as an example. So when you walk in with your parents, and you're maybe 10 to 15 years old, and your dad at the time wanted to buy you a brand new 360 or a brand new PlayStation 2, did you convince him not to buy one?
I probably convinced him to get there in the first place.
I would convince him to buy me more than just that.
As a
Maybe
backstory-
MK3 Volume 2.
As a backstory, we had a father come in today with his son, and he wanted to buy a Switch for his kid. And the kid was convincing his dad not to buy it. I just have never seen anything more absurd. How could you try to convince your father not to buy you a Switch? Then he wanted to buy him the Wii U, and he said no to that too. And it wasn't because he wanted like an Xbox. He just was
You might have been
convincing-
holding out for an Xbox.
No, he was. He was just like, no, I don't want to buy it. I'm not gonna play it. I don't want it. Like what?
He probably has something else in mind.
Maybe he wants a P4 or X-Bone rather than a stupid Nintendo
But that's not the
Switch.
first time that has happened. We've had people over. Were you complaining about that not too long ago? A kid was. Kids were telling their parents not to buy something.
I've had that many times where mom will say, "Hey, do you want to just get a new controller for your system?" And the kid will go, "Oh no, I'll just wait." Like, what? If my parents, I was lucky if I got McDonald's like any time in my childhood, and these kids are getting free brand new controllers, and they're saying, "No, I'll just wait." It's like, what?
They probably only get
I was
one
lucky
thing.
if I could convince my parents to get the cereal with a toy in the box.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand. Like, if I had the opportunity of that when I was a child, I would consider that like close to my birthday. Like, it was like the greatest day ever.
And here's
Never would my
go ahead.
parents spend that much money on me unless like it was Christmas or my birthday or something like that.
Here's the thing: is that dad was probably going to buy the Switch for himself, but then the kid was like, "No," and the dad's just like, "Let me get it for me and say it's for you. That's how I got to explain it to your mother. Work with me here."
He's definitely wanting to jam some Mario or something.
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Breath of the Wild all day, every
Oh,
day.
God.
So if you had one, going back to your childhood, is there one game that you remember like the whole day when you got it, waiting to play it? Do you remember? Do you have one game? Like for example, I remember going to the EB Games in Aviation Mall, and I remember buying SmackDown for PlayStation 1, WWF SmackDown, and I remember sitting in the food court eating Taco Bell, and there was still a Taco Bell in the
that was
food court.
awesome.
And I was sitting there, and the whole time I was eating, I was just reading the back of the case. Like, oh, God, I can't wait. I remember Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy. The Hardys are on the back cover of it, doing something with a ladder. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to play this so bad. Like, do you have, like, a memory of that? And
I think mine was Vice City, Grand Theft Auto. I went in, I think it was Walmart or something the day with my mom, and I was really young. I was only like 12 or 13 or something like that. And we brought it up to the counter, and the guy was like, this game is really, really graphic, right? And she's like, yeah, I don't care. They play with stuff all the time, so. And yep, I got it, and I abused that game. Got the little cheat codes on the whole page. It was great.
Tyler, do you have a game that you remember, like, getting and everything about it? Like the lead up of getting it, and when you got it, waiting to open it, everything?
The one that I really enjoyed the most and I was super excited about was the first Xbox 360. And I played it for like 12 hours on Christmas. And then I remember a couple weeks after, it got the red ring of death, and I didn't have my 360 for like 3 months.
Yeah, but
and I was like, wow, this freaking sucks. And then I finally got it back, and I was able to play it again. But like, I just remember being so disappointed because you heard, like, when you were a kid, you heard those rumors of like, oh, don't get the red ring of death, or people are getting the red ring of death, and then you were like, that'll never happen to me. And then I get the red ring of death, and I'm like, oh my god. And
You think that's bad? I got it the day of Christmas, opened it all up, set it all up, put Need for Speed Most Wanted in it, closed it, and I just sit there. The whole thing went, it went down. And I remember Tom was only like, I don't know, 8 or 9 at the time, and going, "Damn, what's going on? What is it doing?" I go, "I don't know." And back then, it just came out, so no one knew what the red ring was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, and I remember calling, and we had it fried, and we had to send it back, and then they sent it to the wrong house, and it came back. We went like 6 months
my
without
God.
it. In the meantime, we just bought another one.
Yeah.
Like 2 months later. At that point, that's when Tom and I eventually had our own Xboxes. But the whole thing was a disaster back in the day.
Yeah.
Awful.
For me, that kind of stuff was like PC games, DOS games. Like, I don't remember a specific game, but like going into EB Games and grabbing Descent 1 and 2, the definitive collection back in like '97. Like, things like that. A couple racing games. I do kind of want to talk about a racing game that's coming out, because one of the things that I would play all the time was one back in like '99. Maybe we'll get the chance later today to talk about it, but like that kind of thing where, you know, waiting for it in the store, and then just when I had a day, I knew nothing about moderation. I would start a game in the morning and play it until my mom yelled at me to come to the table for dinner.
Those were the days, the good days.
Before school in the morning, like at 5 a.m., and I would play, like, if I was super hyped about a game, I would play it until I had to go to school.
I used to do that too.
I would get to school, I'd be like around lunchtime, I'd be like wicked tired. Everybody's like, why are you sleeping? I'm like, I was playing NBA Street, or I also had a 64, so I had a 64 and a PS2, and I'd play NBA Street on my PS2, and then I'd play like Donkey Kong on 64, or like some random sports games, because I was obsessed with sports games. But
I always got on the school bus at a friend's house, and like sometimes I would go down there early and we'd play Mortal Kombat, because my parents wouldn't let me have Mortal Kombat, but I'd play it over there.
Mortal Kombat.
A couple of fans out there. Natural Born Gamer says Driver. I remember Driver.
Oh yeah.
Splinter Cell. I remember that. I didn't play that, but
That
I do
one was
remember.
fun.
I did make an attempt at Driver. Amp Slayer, Dead Rising 2. I didn't play that one.
Dead Rising is good. I like the first one more, though. I remember playing that a lot.
Natural Born Gamers goes, didn't really get into gaming till Halo.
That's still a good
that's
start.
a good start.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah, actually, Halo 2 might have been one of those ones that I'm waiting for the release. I'm waiting for the release. And I was in college at this point, but got the midnight release, went back to my dorm room, and played it until 10 a.m. when I finished the game. A friend of mine like joined me just to watch me play the thing, and he passed out somewhere around 6 o'clock.
I'm trying to think of the last midnight release I went to before we had the stores. Might have
I
been
was gonna say Fallout 4. That was the last one I went to.
midnight release.
Yeah, remember we went to Best Buy? Pick up
No.
Fallout 4.
Mine was Gears of War 3. We had GameStop and
I don't think I
Aviation
ever
Mall.
did midnight releases.
I think Halo I remember doing Halo.
I think Halo 2 was my only one that I actually did as like hanging around at the store for
Right.
midnight. All the others were just like pick it up first thing the next day.
Because Halo was already out when I got the Xbox, so there wasn't a release for that. I didn't have an Xbox, and then I don't think anyone knew Halo was a big hit when it first came out until it became one.
Yeah.
Halo 2 I remember. Halo 3 I remember getting. I don't think I did any of the midnights for Call of Duties.
I do miss that.
The midnight?
Midnight release. I haven't had a game I was that excited for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I have to work. So.
And part of it too is that with digital distribution, like one that I'm really excited for this year is it's a smaller production, whatever. It's on Steam. I already have it on early access, so it releasing just means that they flip a digit in the version number, and I still own the game that I've been playing for a while.
Yep.
It's just now the full release.
Yep.
It's the industry itself has kind of come a long ways.
What are you laughing at?
So in the chat, I'm going. I'm spreading my Halo propaganda about how Halo is trash, and I'm getting quite the response from Gallagher. So I put Halo is trash, and he goes, "Whoa, there, that's just blasphemous." I'm just the truth. And he goes, "I seriously question your gaming prowess if you think Halo is trash." And I said, "Halo 1 is decent. The only thing I like about Halo is its music. The rest of Halos are trash." And he goes, "I just can't even entertain this." And I said, "Tell Halo to get good."
Tell Halo to get
He probably
good.
logged out after that.
Wow.
Whoa.
I refuse to watch this.
well, now they know how the rest of us feel about Tyler.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Voters are
I think-
entitled to his PC Master Race opinion. And Mike, you're entitled to your Xbox opinion.
I think you
And
just
Dan, you're
hate
entitled
Halo
your
just
bald
to hate.
opinion.
My what?
Halo's stupid. Your bald opinion, because you're bald.
And
I
you're
was
short.
watching Halo on- I was watching Halo on-
Whoa.
What?
And I said, you're short. What's cool? Okay, so I'm bald and you're short. Let's throw those out because they're just about equivalent. I mean,
what? Anyways, I was watching.
There is a
Halo on
bald
Twitch
counter,
after-
though. We don't have a short counter. It's all about bald. I think that's the worst.
True. Anyways, so back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. I was watching Halo on Twitch after Ninja got off, and I watched it for maybe 2 minutes, and I got a headache just watching it. It is awful. It is
You
horrendous.
just don't understand it.
I understand it. It's stupid.
You can't wrap your mind around
it.
wait, what were you watching? Halo?
It was on Twitch after
Oh.
Ninja got off. It went like straight to Halo for some reason.
I think he's hosting the Halo, whatever they're doing.
Is he hosting it on his channel? Or is he
I think he's hosting it on his
back to
channel.
back?
I don't know.
Oh,
I saw something on his channel yesterday, and I think it was on just a minute ago. He's hosting whatever. I don't know if they're doing like a Halo champion thing or something.
Yeah,
but-
it's set up to auto host whatever they've got going
Right.
on when he's not streaming. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be right back to discuss some of the video games coming out in the next couple weeks. We'll be right back. And we're back, episode 12 of Behind the Counter. If you didn't catch it earlier, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Most importantly, on Twitch at Insane Video Games, where if you subscribe to us or follow us on that channel, on May 1st, we'll be doing a drawing, and the winner gets a system of your choice, either an Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or a Nintendo Switch. But you have to follow us on our Twitch account. And again, you can also follow us at Facebook at Insane Games NY, Insane Games FL, and you can watch our full episodes that go on YouTube on Mondays at Behind the Counter.
I spread my PlayStation propaganda a little bit.
Yeah, well,
No. You may not.
There's a game coming out in about 5 days that's gonna be dripping wet.
Oh
You guys
my
want to take a
God.
guess at what it is?
God of War.
Yep, it's gonna be Super Soaker Wet.
Nice.
Super overrated game.
Super overrated.
Well,
man,
no, okay,
right?
okay. So like I'm gonna jump in here. Like I pull Team Xbox as much as you guys do.
Boder,
but-
grab a stool and come
yeah,
over
I'm
here.
grabbing a chair.
First of all, I'm going to get this out of the way
Slide
before we
down.
all get started. He's wicked bald. So you're playing a game.
That is actual fact.
You're not wrong. His kid's even wicked bald in it.
Well, before we go over what you were going to, let's start at the list here.
Okay.
I'm not quite
make sure
sure.
we include
I'm
that,
quick
yeah.
browsing here through the list of games, and it is absolutely awful. The
Oh,
amount of
boy.
games I'm seeing. I see God of War. Okay, so let's start with God of War.
So that's
Yeah.
Comes out April 20th. Only for PlayStation 4 exclusive. Obviously, it has a reputation as being a major PlayStation title. So, Tyler, you said you think you're going to like it?
Oh, exclusively for PlayStation? I think I will like it.
yeah. But have you even played 1, 2, or 3?
I don't have to.
Grow up.
So you're not even a God of War player. You just like it because it's PlayStation.
No, it's not that. I watched the trailer, and technically, I don't think you really have to play the first ones for this one. You just have to understand the backstory a little bit.
Is it a
because
reboot,
It's its
or?
own story.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a new. It's like
It's-
after all the events.
It's its own
basically.
game. It's a major release, right? It's not a redo.
Yeah, no, it's
No, yeah, it's
based
a
on-
new
they're in-
original story.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like in like the Scandinavian area, like the
Oh,
Nordic
right, yeah,
area.
okay. So instead of using Greek mythology, it's using Nordic mythology. Norse.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah,
I think
like,
it's gonna be a crazy good game, and you have your little child next to you in the game.
That I don't like at all. Don't like that aspect at all.
I could see
I don't want
that.
a little boy just following me around. I'm trying to be a God of War.
I think that's the make or break, and that could either be really cool, refreshing difference for
It's
how
just-
the game plays, or it could be super frustrating because everything turns into an escort mission. Which raise
ju-
your hand if you like escort missions. That's what I thought.
It's just PS4 trying to rehash one of their greatest hits of The Last of Us with a different skin and stupid.
Did you play God of War, the first ones?
I dabbled in them. I didn't beat them. It was past my
So
time.
are you a God of War hater?
I'm just because it's PlayStation.
PS4
Yeah, because it's a PlayStation exclusive. I hate it. I like games that are like that. I've played Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden, and those are similar. But
So, like I saw, my wife got the God of War collection on PS3. Had the first 3 games on it that were originally PS2, and I watched her playing. And it was like, oh, this is really cool. This reminds me of a game that I played on original Xbox that I really liked. And I go back and I play Azure Rise of Parathia, and I'm like, this is garbage compared to how well polished God of War is. Like, for that style of game, it has the polish. It has.
that is true.
It's
a well done game.
It's well done, and if you're into a fighter like that, its mechanics and such shouldn't disappoint.
I just don't like his weapons either. I don't know. I guess I'm just a God of War hater. I don't like the chain with the swords. I guess he gets better ones later on though, like the two-handed sword and stuff. But
All I know is I see him facing this like Gyarados-looking dragon in the trailer, and it looks amazing.
yeah, with a little boy hanging on to his little loincloth, dragging in the snow. I'm coming! I'm coming, Papa!
Mike, when you're a father, if you ever are, and you have your little fat panda cub hanging in your arm, you're not gonna want to
Oh my
protect him.
God.
I will not be in a God of War situation with my child now.
Daddy, no.
I would tell him to stay home while I collected, while I hunted deer and such, like in that video.
Broder, do you have a PlayStation 4?
Yeah, we have one at
Oh,
home.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so Steph is mostly a PlayStation person. I'm an Xbox person. So she plays on the PlayStation. I play on the Xbox, and for the most part, never the twain shall meet.
So between the two of you, you got everything covered.
Yeah, we're looking to
good
get a
to know.
Switch, but
So stud or
I
dud?
mean,
I'm gonna say stud because it's
Reputation alone.
I think on reputation alone,
They're
it's
gonna-
one of those series that has had continuous ones, but not overdone like Assassin's Creed. There have been continuous ones because each game has been that good to warrant having more.
Assassin's
Mike's
Creed shout out.
Let's not start a war here between the two of you and Assassin's Creed.
That's already been gone over. You guys can check a few episodes ago on YouTube. We're not going to touch that.
It'll
Mike?
definitely be a stud, not to me, but to everybody else. It'll sell a bunch of copies.
Gallagher says it's a stud, so Mike has to say it's a stud.
Nope, I disagree with
So
them.
Tyler, what do you think? Stud or dud?
Why do you
I think we know.
Because you're a hater?
You like it?
Pretty
so
much.
You think
I'm
stud,
going
right?
to say stud, and the reason I'm going to say stud is because I feel like, like I said before, it's going to be a nice game that you can just, dive yourself into without having to really know or have played the whole entire backstory of the God of War series, which will be nice. And I'm I'm very excited for it. Plus, it's only on PS4, so that's another plus. So that's another stab in the heart to Mike.
Yeah, how about Crash Bandicoot coming over to the Xbox?
That was a stab in the heart to me. I got it for a full year, though, so.
It'll be
Gala
just as
Gross
good.
says stud.
I already said that.
I know, I'm reading them off.
I made sweet love to Crash Bandicoot for a year, and I'm giving you my slots of seconds.
Fat Boy with a Chain says God of War is stupid.
Thank you, fat boy. You know the deal.
Cyber Insanity goes, I think Xbox and Microsoft are superior to all electronics. Okay.
Wow, so we're getting some
Fat Boy with a
truly
Chain is Mike's
reasoned
favorite
thinking here on the merits of the game alone.
Fat Boy with a Chain goes, Spider-Man, though, with the cringe teeth. He just looks sobbing wet.
Spider-Man, that game is going to be in and out, one and done.
When's that come out?
Wicked
Spider-Man?
stupid. It'll be flavor of the month, and then no one will ever talk about Spider-Man again.
Fat Boy with a Chain, we're in April, not October.
Yeah, it was just announced. Also announced was Spyro re-release, but we're
That'll
not talking
probably come to
re-releases right
Xbox
now.
as well.
We are talking what's coming out this week right now.
Boater?
Huh? Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. I never played Spyro. It's not my thing, but it's like, hey, everyone's excited about it.
Am Slayer says it will be a stud. I'm guessing he's talking about maybe Spider-Man.
Maybe
Yeah.
not still God of War.
Spider-Man.
God of War.
And Spyro. You know, we're talking a lot about PS4 exclusives. I like where this is going.
So
What else is coming out this week?
We have Nintendo Labo.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
What?
That's the like cardboard.
Oh, okay.
Interactive model kit. It's variety kit and
Yeah.
robot kit.
That's
Comes
supposed to
out in
blow
the
up.
variant.
It's supposed to be crazy.
We have Adventure Time, Pirates of the Endocridion.
Probably gonna do okay because Adventure Time is huge still.
That's coming out
but
for
it's not gonna
Windows,
reach out
Switch,
past that.
PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. One of the only
Nice.
ones where everything's coming out on. We have Gale Gun 2, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Hello Kitty.
What? Oh my god.
South Park, The Fractured But Whole, coming out for
It's already been out.
Nintendo Switch.
Oh, for
Okay,
Switch.
so
Okay.
it's been out on other stuff, but it's coming out on Switch now. And that actually,
it's gonna be on Switch. Wow.
yeah.
Kind of strange.
Well, talking a little bit about when we were saying Adventure Time, like Adventure Time, that game is going to do well in people that like Adventure Time. South Park did a good job of reaching out past just people that like South Park because the game got such good reviews, especially the first one, and that it reached outside of that fan base. So
love
that's
the
going to
first
do
one.
well, but it's already got the reviews and such.
The Butthole one was pretty good.
Yeah.
I still
Actually,
gotta
I
get to
Say it
that.
with a straight face at all.
The fractured butthole.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a customer come in the other day and say it, and I think both of us were trying to keep a straight face, and he kind of wanted to laugh, and I was kind of.
And everyone's like, we're pretending we're adults. Straight
And
face, we do this.
so this is one of those.
Don't they have another game? Oh no, they don't have another game that has a funny title. It's Stick of Truth.
Right.
Never mind.
kinda goofy.
The fractured
That was
butthole.
good though.
We have Super Robot Wars X coming out for PlayStation 4 and Vita.
Hold on, let me just say for a moment, pretend I'm Dave. Dripping wet. All right, moving on.
He would. He
Wait,
would
they
need
still
to.
make games
I can't wait for
Vita?
this game.
What's
Yeah,
that?
that's true. I haven't heard anything about the Vita
That's
lately.
true.
I thought
Now
they
I'm
stopped
out of the
making
loop,
games
but
for Vita.
It says PS Vita.
all right.
Metal Max
Good for them.
Xeno comes out on the 19th. That's for Vita and PlayStation 4. Metal Max.
So they stopped making
Kazuya
the system,
6.
but they're still making
Kazuya?
games.
Kazuya 6, The Song of Life comes out on the 17th. Wild Guns Reloaded. Have you guys ever heard of any of these games? Or
I'm hearing a lot of shovelware. Like games that are probably going to appeal to a small niche of people and then sit on a shelf until they drop down to $5.
I'm
Or
kind of
$39.99.
Well, that's where they start.
Oh, that's where they start. So they're not real games.
And
Yeah.
May doesn't look all that much better in either way.
Well, the big release months are the start of each season. Like the February is huge. Like sometimes May getting into June can be big. Then starts to get it's kind of dry over the summer, and then it gets
Dry.
big starting in October.
Well,
You know.
yeah, it starts getting the hype starts getting real during June because when E3 hits, all the new trailers are coming out, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't wait till this game." But
Yeah,
they don't really release anything during those
it's hype
times,
season,
so
not release season. Yeah. So we're getting to like smaller budget games that didn't want to compete with the bigger stuff that was coming out, and they push it back a few weeks so that we're gonna bring out Hello Kitty now because not that Hello Kitty is trying to compete with God of War, but
wait, so are you saying that God of War is not that good then, in essence?
no, I'm saying no. I was. No, now I just sidetracked myself because I'm trying to think of a Hello Kitty total conversion mod of God of War.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Do you know Spider-Man is only for PlayStation 4?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
That's why I was hating on it earlier as well.
Well,
Yikes.
Spider-Man is like the movie properties are still owned by Sony.
Yeah, I
Like
guess that
they've
makes
still
sense.
got that property. So
Yeah,
even
if
like
you watch Spider-Man Homecoming, Sony's like the first thing that you see on it.
yeah, like
Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man or nothing.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No,
Tobey
he's not.
Maguire's probably the worst Spider-Man.
The greatest.
But even going back to like PlayStation 2 with the Spider-Man games, that was exclusive to PlayStation 2. That wasn't on any of the other stuff as well.
I
It's
thought there
'cause-
was one on original Xbox.
I don't
huh?
believe so. Well,
I
there
remember that might have been the
one.
first one I played.
There might have been
I'll
one.
look it up.
Yeah, just
If you can't
Yeah.
tell, this one over here has been watching all the superhero movies lately.
I'm still trying. I tried watching Captain America: Winter Soldier yesterday, but I couldn't. It was too busy.
We have the Avengers Civil War coming out.
Ooh, they have a
You
Spider-Man.
mean Age of
on,
Ultron? Oh no,
Xbox.
game coming out?
No, the movie.
The movie Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of
Civil War
Ultron.
was last year.
Wait, the movie.
yeah, Age of Ultron is what it's going to be called.
Age of Ultron.
That's already out.
No, Captain America: Civil War came out last year.
No.
Okay.
The Avengers, the new one, Infinite Wars. What am I
Is that what it
thinking?
is? Infinity Wars.
Infinity
Oh,
Wars.
yeah,
Is
okay,
it
yeah,
Infinity
that's
Wars?
right.
That one's coming
We're
out
all
in 2
over the
weeks.
place.
No.
Wait,
Yeah,
Age of
No.
Ultron already came out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one
Age
is
of
out
Ultron.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
That's
God.
the second
yes.
Avengers.
Yes, you're right. Age of Ultron was
Well,
Avengers.
we're
We
Civil
both
War
were
was
all
Captain
wrong because I
America.
called it. What did I call it? I think we all
Yeah.
called.
You
We
called
all
it Civil
said-
War.
Yeah.
I called it Civil War. That was the Captain
Too
America
many
Civil
movies.
War.
Too many movies.
And now we have, is it Infinite Wars or Infinity
Infinity
Wars?
Wars.
Infinity War.
Wars.
Avengers Infinity Wars.
And that's coming out
is
in
it part 1 or did they decide not to attach
I think
a
it's
part
only.
one?
Well, they have a
Oh,
second one
okay.
coming out. I don't think it's a part 1 and 2.
Okay.
I think it's
You know
one.
who's in it, Dan?
Everyone's in it. Who's not in it?
Can't wait to see my boy M'Baku back in action.
I think I'm gonna see that opening weekend.
Yeah, I
Definitely
think so.
going to.
I think so, yeah.
Did Tom ever get those tickets?
I don't know. We all thought he
Actually,
was.
I was heard that they're selling out. Like they're just selling out of pre-sale tickets, like wicked fast for that.
Stupid Tom when he sent us a text message about it. We all thought it was the weekend that weekend, and
And he had it pulled up here, and he's like, "I'm gonna buy them," and then he just didn't buy them.
But we all thought he
What
was
a
talking
fool.
about that week. That's why we're like, we all could go. And you said you weren't here. And like, what? What does that even mean? What? And we all got confused. And
All
Yeah,
Tom's
because I
fault.
actually knew when the date of the movie was.
Bo, are you a big Avengers fan?
I've been enjoying the movies as they come out. I'm gonna see it. I'm starting to get fatigue on Marvel superhero movies.
getting a little-
I'm kind of hoping that among other things, they kill off a few well-loved characters because honestly, because it's getting to the point that it's like they're going to survive and they're going to win. Is it going to be a fun movie? Yes, but there's no stakes. If they actually kill people off, like in Force Awakens when they killed off Han Solo, then
Whoa,
it's like.
spoiler.
Too bad. Then, if you're disappointed about it, then 2 weeks after Infinity Wars, then you can watch the Solo movie coming out, which, despite myself, looks
That
really
movie
good.
looks hot fire. That
Yeah,
Solo movie.
but
Everyone's saying it's gonna
if
be
Infinity
dark.
Wars doesn't take a risk with that, then it's gonna feel more and more stale. It's like, why should I
So
keep watching?
if two of them
It's
have
like
to,
in Guardians of Galaxy 2 when they killed. Spoiler alert! When they plug your ears. When they killed Yondu, that was probably one of the
Yeah.
saddest moments. And
Yeah,
it
so
kept it fresh. And
even
they're
if
gonna
it's-
come out with another one now.
Agreed,
probably.
agreed. Even if it's not like one of the main ones. Oh no, Black Widow hasn't had a movie of her own, so she's gonna be killed, isn't she?
Yep.
I have no idea. I
I
honestly
hope
have no
Hawkeye
idea.
gets killed.
Scarlett Johansson, they're definitely going to keep her going. They're not-
Yeah,
So
they'll
if you,
keep her.
so
Oh yeah, you're right. Hawkeye's number is up. That's a shame because I really like him. I like Jeremy Renner.
You
I
kind
like
of
the
look
Hawkeye
like Hawkeye a
character.
little bit, Boater.
okay,
Just a
Boater.
tad.
So if you had to pick two of them that are going to die,
Uh,
what two of them do you think should die?
like looking at it right now, and it's been a while since I watched them. Probably Hawkeye and Vision. These characters that haven't had their own movies, but have been like strong personalities in other people's movies.
Can we really? Captain America? There's no way they're gonna kill. Captain
Everybody's
America.
saying he's gonna die.
Even though a lot of people are online saying they think Captain America's gonna die. There's no way they kill Captain America. There's no way they kill Iron Man. Tony Stark, maybe.
He could die.
I think it's very possible actually that Tony Stark dies and maybe someone
They already
else
played
takes up
the
the
trick,
Iron Man
though.
mantle because that's what superheroes do. They
He is
pass
aging.
down the name.
Like Tony Stark finds out he has an a bastard child out there, and he ends up 20 years later becoming the new Iron Man. I don't know.
But I don't know. I mean, don't
That'd be a good idea.
I'm not all that
Tony Stark.
familiar with the comics, but don't they follow where the comic books go? I mean, is Iron Man still alive in comic books right now?
The cinematic universe has taken cues from it, but hasn't like tried to stick to it one to one. But for instance, I go back to Hawkeye, and that like 5 different people have had the title of Hawkeye. I've been whatever,
Jimmy
not
Renner's
just
been,
Clint
He's
Barton.
been pretty good with it.
Yeah,
I like his attitude in the movies too. Like, he shows up like he's retired, and he's not retired. And, you know, like him.
There's no place in there.
Do anyone really have a place in there? I mean, Black Widow. What does she really do? She just. I mean.
You take that back.
What?
Black Widow is really nice to look at. That's the whole
She
point.
tames the Hulk.
Wow.
She tames the Hulk.
Does she have a power?
No, just being really crazy
She
good.
she has an electrical thing on her hands. Go zzz, and then
both him and both her and Hawkeye, like their thing is that they are normal people who have
Just
trained their
assassins,
whole
basically.
life to be nearly as crazy awesome as these people who are superpowered, which gives them a really cool weight when they decide to focus on it. But when you have an ensemble,
really like redheads.
well, like when you have an ensemble cast that's as cast that's as big as Infinity Wars is going to be, they're just going to get lost in the shuffle. That's my big concern with the movie is that there's like 25 main characters.
Yeah,
Some people are going to get lost. Some people aren't going to get adequate screen time, or it's going to be like a 9-hour movie, and we know it's not going to be a 9-hour movie. Some people are going to get screwed.
They're doing a marathon of all the Marvel movies.
Yep. Yeah, that's something you got to
crazy.
start early. There's a lot of them.
It's like
Iron Man 1
32
came out in
hours or
what,
something.
2009?
Yeah, that
We've
was
had
a
nearly
long time
10
ago.
years. 2008, yeah, we've had 10 years of MCU movies.
Well, can't you count the early Hulk that was in like 2003?
No,
Edward Norton one.
no, the Edward
Yeah.
Norton one came out after Iron Man.
Okay.
The one directed by Ang Lee was before that one. That doesn't count in the same universe.
Yeah.
so they cut
so
down.
It really starts with Iron Man, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was 2008.
So I noticed
10 years.
they cut down the list of all the actors. So must be they know who's like really starring in it and who's not. Like before they had one major list of everybody, and now it's been cut down. So I think now that you can see who's only doing a cameo.
Is Chadwick Boseman on there?
Like Bradley Cooper, for example.
Yeah.
He was on the list of all the actors. Now he's not. So must be he's only doing a small.
Yeah, it
Vin
might be a small
Diesel
part.
as Groot. He must only be in there for a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like I kind of don't want to pay attention to that because I do want to go into it fresh. I want to be like, okay, who's going to get the big screen time and who's just going to be there for a cameo to be like, look, we had everybody.
Right, exactly. There's so many people on here.
I'm actually really excited to see Teenage Groot.
I mean,
He's pretty funny.
if you don't remember, War Machine almost died in the Civil War.
True.
I mean, but he is in this one. But basically, you kind of could say he was kind of the
Yeah,
death
he
of
would-
that
he
one,
would
maybe
be-
a little bit. But
Well,
they didn't kill him
if they
off.
followed through with it. But yeah, like that tier, I think that we could see
Peter
losing
Dinklage
people.
is in there.
Peter Dinklage.
Was he playing?
Yeah,
He doesn't have an actor. He doesn't have a name next to him. Just has his
I
name.
feel like he was in one of the earlier ones, but I forget which.
He was in an X-Men movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
As
Vin
a
Diesel,
villain.
Bradley Cooper, Gwyneth Paltrow,
Yeah.
Josh Brolin.
Brolin.
Yep.
That's what I said.
Thanos. I also said this. I thought it was pretty stupid how, because isn't Deadpool in the Marvel movie or Marvel universe as well too? I don't understand how Josh Brolin can play.
No,
Thanos and
Deadpool
he
is
can
in
play
the X-Men Marvel.
Cable.
No, Deadpool is it's still owned by Fox. It's not being done by Marvel Studios.
That's right. That's right. Well, I thought it was, and when I said it, I thought it was stupid how Josh Brolin was playing Thanos and Cable. But now that you say that, that
Hey,
makes a lot
that
of sense.
happens a lot. I mean, Chris, one of the Chris's, the one playing Captain America, was first, Mr. Fantastic
Evans?
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't he
You
the
know, there's
Human
a-
Torch or
Oh,
whatever?
yeah,
He's in Fantastic Four.
yeah.
God.
Yeah, a lot.
Jessica Alba.
A lot of the people who are now playing MCU heroes. It's their second time around as a superhero.
Ben
That's fine.
Affleck,
I mean, it says here people playing smaller
Ryan
roles.
Reynolds.
Michael B. Jordan.
Paul Rudd,
Green
Ant-Man,
Lantern, though.
Yeah, okay.
and Hawkeye. So it's
Yep.
very. They could get rid of him.
Yep.
You could get rid of him.
So.
I think we got like 8-7 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good. I like to watch the Age of Ultron one. I haven't seen that one yet. I did see the Captain America Civil War, which is pretty much an Avengers for the most part.
Yeah.
And then I seen the first Avengers. But see, I haven't done a lot of like the. But then again, the Hulk movie doesn't have the actor that's in the Avengers now, right? It's a different actor.
It's a different actor. It's Edward Norton instead
Right.
of Mark Ruffalo.
Right. And Thor, I'm not a big Thor fan, so I haven't watched that movie.
Yeah.
It's hard to relate.
Actually,
Well, like
I heard Thor was actually
movies-
really good.
I enjoyed the original Thor, but like the movies that happened before the first Avengers came out was when they were like, we're making these separate movies, but we're leaving these threads so that we can tie them together if we want to do so later.
Mm-hmm.
After Avengers came out and was super successful, then they were like, yes, all of these explicitly take place in the same universe and they're going to be very strongly tied together. Whereas like in Hulk, there's like an Easter egg in there if you catch it closely that S.H.I.E.L.D. is involved a little bit or something like that. I don't know, I only watched it once or twice and it was before Avengers came out.
So, who's the main villain in the Infinity
Thanos.
War? Who?
Thanos.
Oh.
Excuse me.
bless you.
With the gloves.
Yep, with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Stephen
yeah.
Strange, I forgot he's in it. Doctor
The
Strange.
Nintendo glove.
And Benedict.
the Power Glove.
Yeah, it should be. It'd be interesting to see how the Black Panther folds into that
I
one.
can't wait.
Now that he has his own movie that's
He'll
almost
probably
the
get
biggest movie of all time. I think it passed the Titanic in gross sales. So I think the only one that has left. I think the only one that has left is Avatar.
Actually, you know what I would like to see is Leonardo DiCaprio as a superhero.
Oh my God!
Who would
Why?
he play?
He could be the next Tony Stark.
Grow up.
He's got
old,
range. I mean, like, I don't watch a lot of Leo DiCaprio movies, but some people are stuck with just like, oh, he was that guy
You're
in
not missing
Titanic,
much.
whatever. He's got range, though.
Don't be like that, Dan.
Thank you, Boater. This is something that we can agree on.
Okay, don't get used to it.
Anything I've ever seen him in, he was good. So
He won an award by walking through the woods.
Oh my God.
That's basic.
Here we
You
go.
want to win an Academy Award, Boater? Go walk through the woods when it's snowing for about 2 hours and maybe sleep under
And
a tree
also get
stub.
snubbed for Academy Awards for the preceding 12 years. Yeah,
And
make
then-
sure you get that
Should've
part,
won
too.
one.
Long overdue.
And they felt so bad for him they had to give him an Oscar because he walked through the
I
woods.
can't even argue with you because you don't have your favorite actor. You don't have a person that you like. So how am I supposed to argue with you?
he definitely likes
You
somebody.
can
He's just
argue
being,
why he deserves one. Why would he
It's
deserve
because
one in
you
that
just have
movie?
a lack of intellect. So,
So
I can't
let's
really
go
argue
over it.
with
Why
you.
do you think he should have an award? What was so good about that movie that he
The
contributed?
story, hence why he
I'm
got
sorry,
the award.
Leonardo didn't write the story.
Okay, he acted in it. He got the best male actor for it. And
The-
funny,
the
story was
question
so good
is-
that the director, the writer, everybody got an award for it too. It was that good of a movie.
The
Don't
question
turn off the
was,
aircon.
why
Let me
does
keep going.
Leonardo
Let me go.
deserve the Academy Award when he barely said 2 words?
Having not seen the movie, acting
Oh my God.
non-verbally is a lot
Very
harder
tough.
than just saying
Oh
words.
my God!
Dan doesn't
Shall
know.
we
He doesn't
move
know movies. He watches action. All he watches is Die Hard, Mission Impossible, all these action movies.
he likes Bruce Willis. You
Actually,
could-
I've never watched any of the Mission Impossible, so you're wrong on that.
he's a
one.
big Bruce Willis fan.
Dramatic shows like Brothers and Sisters, Days of Our Lives.
We're not talking about TV shows. We're talking about Leonardo
I can't
DiCaprio and his.
switch it over to TV
You're getting
shows.
hostile because I'm shooting down Leonardo right now. Okay.
No, because you have no intellect towards what the movie.
I don't need to have it. I watched the movie. He walked around and did absolutely nothing but sleep inside of a dead bear one night, and that was it.
It was a horse.
Well, does it matter?
Yeah, it does.
The bear almost
And
killed
somehow
him.
he won an Oscar for that.
Well, I would
Imagine
have to say
filming
that.
yourself-
Probably because they felt so bad they didn't give him one for Titanic or the.
He got one for What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He played a mentally handicapped person.
If anything, he should have got one from The Departed over the other. I don't even know that. I don't even remember the title yet. What's the title of the one he got the?
The Revenant.
I'm glad
thank
that
you.
We're going over all the movies he should have gotten once for it. That it basically is.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have an award.
Amazing actor.
I'm just saying, out of all the movies he got an award from, The Relevant, please. Revenant, whatever. Please. Stupid.
It's pretty hard to
At
play.
least he actually acted in all the other ones. This one he didn't, and he gets one. So Leonardo should just from now on not say anything when he does movies, and maybe he'll get a chance to win one.
Just
He
imagine.
also spoke a different language too.
Wow.
He got
cool.
killed by a bear and he had to do it himself.
He didn't get killed by
He had
the
to
bear.
pretend-
He took the bear off. He went to find his
Is Mike hate on
child,
this movie
and
too?
he
I
got
like
up
the movie.
and
I like this movie actually. I said he had to
Stupid.
by
Who was the
himself
guy
as
who
an
fought at the
actor
end?
had to act out getting killed by a bear. You try
Exactly.
doing that. Say you're getting attacked by a bear.
Natural Boy Gamer says it was a horse.
Yeah,
He
we're-
fought Tom
for
Hardy at the end,
sleeping
which was
inside.
also a very good fight scene.
Tom
And
Hardy.
Tom Hardy did a very good job in that, and I'm pretty sure he won an award for that movie too.
He should have, because he did more acting than Leonardo. So he did more
acting.
act.
So bad, Dan.
He did more acting than Leonardo. He should have got one.
It was a pretty wet movie,
He
Dan.
didn't though. Okay.
You're just very salty that I hate on Leonardo. You can't stand it.
You can hate on Leonardo all I want, but I know that if Leonardo ever came on.
The Great
whatever
Gatsby, he
episode-
shouldn't have got an award for that one.
Alright, you take that back, you son of a bitch.
What?
No, he was
Great
asking.
Gatsby was a great movie.
I said,
Fantastic.
why didn't he get an award for it? If anything, he should have got an award for that one, but he gets one for walking through the woods and singing 5 words all movie long? Please, give me a
Everybody knows
break.
he got snubbed.
That was a mercy win if I've ever seen one before. He should be insulted to
Yes,
take that
because we
Academy
all know
Award.
that the Academy is the absolute measure of fairness when it comes to who actually deserves something. Commentary.
Wolf on Wall Street was also a hot fight.
Wolf on Wall Street, he didn't get one for that one? I mean, come on. You're only making my case even more by bringing up these titles.
What about
No,
Inception?
you're only making my
Inception?
case more than
Inception?
an amazing
Dripping
actor.
wet.
Even though I hated the movie, at least he acted in it.
Why did you hate it, Dan?
It was just I didn't really
Because
get
you
it.
didn't understand
No,
it?
that one I will
Oh,
admit.
you did
I
not
didn't
understand
understand the
the happening?
movie. And when I watch a movie and I can't figure out, forget it. It was just a waste of 2 hours. Like, what is going on here? Did you watch that movie?
As well?
I did not watch that
Inception?
one. No.
It wasn't that hard to
Maybe you just
understand.
don't understand Leonardo DiCaprio, Dan. Maybe that's just what it is.
Hey, sorry, we're closed. Yep.
Sorry. On that note.
Oh, we should have got his name. He could have been our
That's what I
special
get for
guest.
not locking the door. Whatever. We can sit here and argue about Leonardo all day long. Okay, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to close it up here, episode 12 of Behind the Counter, presented by Insane Games. We'll be right back. And we're back, episode 12 of Behind the Counter. Make sure you check out many of our social media streams and different accounts. You can go to YouTube and watch our full episodes at Behind the Counter. Facebook, you can follow us for all of our store details, sales, store information, and so on at Insane Games NY and Insane Games FL. You can also follow us on Twitter at pod_BTC. And also on Instagram at Behind the Counter Pod. And make sure you subscribe to us on Twitch at Insane Video Games for your chance to win a system of your choice. A drawing will be done on May 1st, which the winner can choose a system of his choice between an Xbox One, a PlayStation 4, or a Nintendo Switch. But you need to subscribe to our channels. Cancel.
Cancel. The Xbox. There we go.
Yes.
The Kinect was like, I'm going to be helpful, and we're like, no, thank you.
Go away, Connect.
But either way, make sure you
Another
subscribe.
reason why the Xbox is stupid.
Make sure you subscribe to one of those. We want to thank the Saratoga Comic Con and everyone who came out to our booth this past weekend. Both booths. We had a video game booth and a pop and accessory booth. We had a fantastic weekend. We're so glad to see a lot of our customers come and so glad to see a lot of them come back this week. Also want to thank Joe and Amy, and make sure you follow them at Geek for All on YouTube and Geek for All YT on Twitter.
Oh, wee.
What?
You did it right.
And we'll be back here next week for a normal episode. I want to thank Boater for stepping in here for a little bit for Dave. Make sure you follow him at BoaterBug on everything BoaterBug, right?
Yeah,
Alright.
Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all of it.
Make sure you follow our Twitch and Dave Mann's Twitch at DAM314 for the Weekend Wednesdays on Wednesday, and then Mike and I on Thursday nights for Insane Games Late Night. So make sure you check us out then. Do we have a game we're going to play this week?
I think we're going to play Mario Kart.
Ooh, Mario Kart?
I'm going to have to put Dan in his place once and for all on the streets.
I'm not gonna lie, Mike. Dan is a little bit good at that game. That's why
I've been practicing, so I have an unfair advantage.
I don't hand Dan too many compliments, but I remember him holding his own when we played.
Yikes.
I still beat him, but I'm just saying.
So to close out this episode, maybe we'll do a little disc trade talk. I haven't been doing much. Had the Comic Con last week, so I've been pretty busy getting caught up. Played a few games of Fortnite this week, but other than that, I think Call of Duty's been put on hold for a while. Fortnite, I've been watching more Fortnite than playing it.
Really?
So I've been kind of quiet. Mike, what have you been doing?
I've still been playing Monster Hunter World with Galagros, my brother. We played Weekend Wednesday. We played Monster Hunter World for a little while.
Oh, that's right. How'd that go?
It was good. Yeah, we took on some pretty hard monsters in there, and I like the game a lot because it's always given free content. So
Nice.
I beat it, and they're still releasing stuff, so that's always good.
That's good. Tyler, what have you been playing? Anything?
Well, last week when I was in New York, me and Dave streamed A Way Out. We beat it in one sitting. It took us 6 hours because Dave decided to play with every little mini game there was possibly to play with.
Okay, don't blame that on Dave. I saw you being the one like, oh, we got to try balancing in the wheelchairs, guys.
That was the one where I
And
was
being
like,
awful at Connect 4.
Dave crushed you in Connect 4. Crushed you in Connect 4.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't know.
they play Connect 4?
In game, there's just they go to the hospital and there's just a Connect 4 set sitting on the table. You can go and play it.
I'm actually really bad at Connect 4 in real life too. I don't know what it is.
I don't know how you can be, though.
I
You
think
just...
I have dyslexia when it comes to Connect 4, basically.
That game was
But-
super cinematic, though. I loved tuning in. Like, I tuned in a little late to watch you guys play it. I loved it. And there was a joke about, oh, it's such and such will be the third player. Haha. I was like, yeah, I'll be right down. And then I came right down because it was that cool to watch.
It was
Yeah.
a great game. The ending was amazing. I loved it. I loved the game a lot. I've been recommending it to anybody that asks about it. I think it's a great game, especially it being only $29.99. And honestly, I've heard that there's different endings, so you can play it not once but twice. So I think that really adds on to the aspect. And there's different things that you can do that changes the outcome of certain situations as well too. So I thought it was all in all a really good game. And right now I'm not really playing anything. Probably gonna stick with some Fortnite, and maybe when God of War comes out, throw that in and see how good that is. So.
Question with A Way Out, was that Quantic Dream, like the same developers as like Heavy Rain? I thought it. Maybe?
I actually think it is.
Yeah, like Heavy Rain was really cool because like there was a lot of different ways that it could end depending on how you went through, and this is really neat going through. It makes total sense as soon as I made the connection.
It was actually Haze Light Studios. That's who makes it.
Okay, my mistake, but it definitely felt like that when I mentioned
It felt
cinematic.
like that though, yeah.
There was one part where the two of you were trying to escape a hospital, and instead of it being co-op and the both of you playing at the same time, it was one person plays and then passes through the scene where another person that would seamlessly pick up on their controller. It was really cool. So
Yeah.
that was cool to watch.
Highly recommend. Highly.
I kind of had a misconception. I thought the whole show or the whole game would be more focused on how to get out of the jail instead of, because I think the storyline takes you like maybe 50% of it is actually outside of the actual jail.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot more on how you had to. I thought the idea to me was there's like 15 different ways of escaping. You have to find a way.
Gotcha.
Maybe
That would've been cool, too.
You know what I mean? Like there's like 15 different scenarios that can lead to a certain way of escaping. And I thought it was more of that. So I was surprised when I was watching it. And it was more.
Yeah, it was like a straightforward path. I thought, like, yeah, you'd have to explore and figure it out, kind of.
But either way, the amount of the
What
graphics,
you get for it
the
is
graphics and the
fantastic.
storylines and the changes for $29.99 was actually quite
Yeah, it
a
was
shot.
a good story. A beautiful tale.
I almost cried at the end.
When Dave took those cheeks.
Yeah, there was that.
So, Boder, what have you been up to?
I was at PAX East last weekend instead of being able to make it to Saratoga Comic Con. It was really cool, like wandering around the expo floor and all that. And I saw a booth for a game that I had no idea was coming out. and absolutely love the idea of. Back in 1999, there was a combat racer that came out called Roll Cage. Came out for the PC and PlayStation 1, and the idea is that, like, here's your car. It can also drive upside down. It can drive up on the wall, ceiling, whatever. Indestructible, has weapons, power-ups, everything like that. Sequel came out in 2000, and then it, like, dropped off the face of the earth. They haven't been developing anything. Someone loved the game so much that he was like, I want Roll Cage 3, and nothing happened here. He contacted a developer who had been, like, developing stuff for the PC just so that it would, like, still run on Windows 7 and Windows 10, and was like, hey, do you want to make a third game? Because I'm down, let's do it. And sure enough, it's like a super fan and one of the developers are developing this game called Grip. And if you head over to my channel, youtube.com/BoaterBug, I did a video talking about it, and you can see more of, like, the graphics and everything like that. It went into Kickstarter a couple years ago. It's on, like, Steam Early Access, so I've actually been playing it, although it's not technically released yet. But
cool.
it's the same thing. It's the reversible cars, driving up on walls, ceilings, awesome power-ups. It has, 2018 level graphics. It is sharp. It's slick. It feels great.
Different type of game.
Yeah, it's a combat racer, so you would think Mario Kart, but I talked to one of the devs, and he was like, yeah, so we decided not to go for a Mario Kart style game. Like, that kind of arcadey racer is fine, but they went for, like, more realistic
So it'd be like
physics.
Vigilante 8, maybe?
But they have, like, heavier car physics, so it's like the cars are like, if this is, the size of a person, the car is the size of this table. It's huge, and it feels like this huge thing that's a little hard to steer. You got to use your brakes going into turns, everything like that. Talk to the dev about that, and that game is coming out. It's getting its full release this year, not just on PC, but it's also going to be Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. So it's like getting a full release, and I'm no word on the price. If it's $39.99, I apologize. But I'm really excited for that. So, like, I did a video for it, and I was playing it, like, nonstop, gathering footage for that. I had Dave over a few days ago, and we were playing it. It has local split-screen multiplayer. It has local split-screen multiplayer. Who does that anymore?
That's true.
Even on the PC, I plugged. It's called Grip. It's being developed by Caged Element. The publisher is Wired Productions, the same publisher as the Shaq Fu remake.
God.
Which was recently announced. So they were like booths that were right next to each other.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing is playing a racing game from my childhood, but current day, like 1440p graphics.
Oh, have you ever played Fusion Frenzy? That was on Xbox?
Yes, I did.
That game's great.
It's one of like
that was like one of your favorites.
It's one of like a dozen Xbox games that are backwards compatible on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yes, I have it,
that,
and I still love it.
There's more of those coming out in a couple weeks.
Really?
A new batch. Like,
Nice.
Talk about a game that should come out. Vigilante 8.
Yeah.
Not even remastered, but all like an actual new. That would be so cool playing with like modern cars and modern graphics on a Vigilante 8.
Yeah.
That actually would be kind of.
I'm hoping that there's, like, a few years ago there was a resurgence of, like, space sims, which were back in the 90s. Also, something that was in the 90s, early 2000s, was these, like, car combat games. Whether it's a racing game or just, like, an open world kind of thing. And you haven't seen it too much. So, yeah, I'd love to see stuff like that come back.
In this day and age,
Rocket League
people love
started
customizing cars and stuff. You can put the machine guns on the side and put rocket launchers on the back and do a lot of different customizing. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see that kind of thing come back. Even if it's just like a year where 3 of them come out and then it dies off again, that's fine. You still have 3 great games that'll last you for a long time.
So, TJ is watching.
hey,
He goes, why is Tyler scared of Boxer? I don't know what that means.
Boxer?
I don't know. And it's Boter, not Boder.
B-O-T.
oh, maybe he meant to
B-O-T-E-R.
say, yeah.
And he goes, why does Boder not heckle Mike? I don't know that.
Quit being a troublemaker, TJ.
Wow.
And then he said, electric
Boder's
foot.
afraid of Mike's biceps. That's why.
And he goes,
Yeah,
electric.
you're not right here. This is...
He goes, electric
That's for TJ
football.
right
So I'm
there.
guessing that is a question. I'm guessing he put electric football to one of the questions we were talking about.
So leave it slightly up.
No, keep those covered. Conceal the carry those guns.
So I think that's all we got for today. So make sure you, like I said 15 times already, make sure you subscribe and follow us on Twitch. Why not? You get a chance to win a system of your choosing. I mean, a Switch, a PlayStation 4, an Xbox. I don't know why why you wouldn't follow us on our channel for a chance to win that.
Yeah.
Unless
And-
you're like a 10-year-old trying to convince your dad not to get you a Switch.
Hey,
Don't follow.
little
That's
Johnny,
fine.
you want a Nintendo Switch? No, I'm good, Dad. Thank you. All right, let's
You
go
get that
home.
system, and you also get a notification whenever this super wet program is online.
You get to
So-
follow us every week. You won't have to miss us. Not to mention, you can watch Crazy Dave on Wednesdays, and Mike and I on Thursdays, and eventually him on one day whenever he decides to.
Let's
pick
get that
a
going,
day. I know.
Tyler.
Like, what are we doing here?
I like the anticipation. You guys really want
Well,
me
you're
to go.
losing. You're losing anticipation. You gotta.
Am I, though?
Now the hype
Am
is
I?
going to be too much, and then I'm going to be like, lame.
I'm out of here.
Put a couple Budweisers in front of me and see if the anticipation won't be there.
And meanwhile, sticking to a schedules for Squares, so I just stream whenever. Twitch.tv/Boaterbug.
Make sure you follow Boater on Boaterbug, and I think we're good to go, fellas.
Cool.
Dave apparently has more important things to do than come tonight. I think he's working on a play.
Yeah, he's helping out with the stage crew for HMT's next production, Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. So I'm sure that he'll be
He's-
talking about
he's
that
too
the
good
next
for
chance
us.
that he gets.
So
Next stop, Broadway.
he's moving up in the world. Our little podcast
just
and
leaving
now
us behind.
it's
Oh, boys, grown up.
it's Broadway.
I'll see you nerds next week.
Yeah, Dave, make sure you bring back MLB The Show, too.
Yeah, I know, Dave. We had a customer come in looking to buy it, and then Dave's had it for 2 weeks, probably beating it out. So we know what Dave is doing in
Whoa! Phrasing.
Wow.
Beating it up.
Wording.
Either way, he probably
Not only is he doing that, but he's also playing MLB.
there you go. Finishing the game, playing it outright.
It's still not really
completing
that good.
Yeah. Awesome.
I can't take it.
it. I think we're good to go.
Yep.
Everyone, peace out.